Hello, my dear students. I am continuing with the topic bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry, it is one of the type of symmetry found in the animals, which is found in higher animals like annelids, then arthropods, and even in the higher organisms, like even in the human beings, this symmetry can be seen. Here, that symmetry means when any plane passes through the central axis of the body. For example, in the textbook, there is a diagram given of a crab showing the bilateral symmetry. So, bilateral symmetry in crab. Okay. Just I am showing, roughly I am drawing this. Okay, I am not drawing all the parts and all there. So just imagine they have so this is the crab you think. Now when any plane passes through the center of the body, okay, divides the animal into equal right and equal left halves. If then any plane passes through the central axis of their body, divides their body into identical left and right halves. That means in the right halves, what is there, the same structure has to be seen in the left half also. But previous group where we have seen in the case of which case we have studied before, asymmetrical and radial symmetry, they will not give the identical right and left halves. Only in the bilateral symmetry only we can see the identical left and right halves. That is called as bilateral symmetry. In which organism we can see that? It is found in annelids and arthropods. This is about the symmetry. So we completed asymmetrical, then radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Got cleared about this much? What is the level of organization? Remembering cellular, tissue, organ system, open, then closed circulatory system we studied, open, complete and incomplete digestive system also studied. Now we studied the symmetry also. Next basis of classification is, that is diploblastic and triploblastic organization. So what is the diploblastic and triploblastic organization means? Diplo means two. Okay, di. Always this di refers to two, right? So diploblastic and triploblastic. Tri, not TRY. This is TRI. It is 3. So, based on the number of germinal layers, okay, we know that every single life, okay, every organisms starts their life from a single cell, and this that is in the case of sexually reproducing organisms, life begins from the zygote. So zygote divides and then it cell undergoes multiplication, where each cell performs a specific function, gets differentiated into a particular function and forms a whole body. During this embryonic development, there can be germinal layers can be seen. So those based on the presence of that number of germinal layers, it is classified as diploblastic and triploblastic organization. So what is diploblastic organization means? A diploblastic organization means organisms in which or animals in which the cells are, can we write animals itself since it's the animal kingdom? Because organism, even plant also comes under the organism only. So animals in which the cells are arranged in two embryonic layers. In the embryonic stage, okay, there will be two layers can be seen. Two embryonic layers. The cells are arranged in two embryonic layers. Then it is called as diploblastic organization, and it is found in the animals such as coelentrates. Okay, where we can see this diploblastic organization, it is found in coelentrates. It is found in coelentrates. Now let us look at that diagram, how that arrangement is made. Here, embryonic layers means the zygote, I said, it divides and forms many cells. So those cells will be arranged in a layers. So in the case of diploblastic, you can see there is only two layers can be seen. So what are those two layers? Outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. There is no mesoglea in between this. Outer ectoderm and inner, there will be a endoderm layer. So in these two layers also it is filled with the cells. Here this is the ectoderm which is filled with the cells. And when you are drawing the cells, it's important that you have to show the nucleus. So in each cells you have to put a dot that indicates it is a cell having a nucleus, because a true nuclei means only it is a eukaryote. Eukaryotes have the true cell, that means having a proper nuclei and cellular envelope. So all so that is an outer ectoderm. This layer is the outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. Here also cells are there. So two layers of cells can be observed. Outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. So where the cells are missing, the cells are missing in this region. Okay, that cells are not there. So that is called as that region. Actually in other case there will be a mesoderm layer will be there. Here it is not there. In this region, in the mesoglea region itself, there is no cells. So instead of mesoderm, it is named as mesoglia. It is named as mesoglia. So how can we label it? This is ectoderm, outer ectoderm. Remember like that. Outer ectoderm, then inner endoderm, internal endoderm, and in between this is the mesoderm, but here it is called as mesoglia because there is no cells are there. So it is instead of mesoderm, it is named as mesoglia. So in the animals in which the cells are arranged in two embryonic layers, in which external ectoderm and internal endoderm, and in between there is no, then between, what is that? Between ectoderm and endoderm there is a undifferentiated, so undifferentiated layer is present in between this ectoderm and endoderm, which is known as mesoglia. Okay, undifferentiated layer between the ecto and endoderm. I am writing it in short form. So this is what the diploblastic organization means. It is found in coelentrates. Here during the embryonic development, you know that the cells are dividing, then forms a 8 cell structure, then 16 cell structure, then 32, then like that, it is 64. So like that cells go on increasing, and later these cells will perform a particular function. For example, ectoderm will form a outer organs which helps in the formation of skin, like that. Endoderm means inner visceral organs, digest system, all those systems are formed from the endoderm. So in between here there is an undifferentiated layer is present between ectoderm and endoderm, which is known as diploblastic organization. Then let us learn about the triploblastic organization. So same diagram you can draw here also, but here missing is that we have to add one structure more here, that is in between these you have to add one more layer here. Okay, these cells you have to add, because in the previous one in diploblastic this region was not filled with any cells, but here this region is filled with the cells called as mesoderm. Okay, so you have to this is endoderm. Then this is a ectoderm. So in the triploblastic organization there will be 3 germinal layers will be there. Based on that, some organisms during their embryonic development they'll have 3 germinal layers, or some of them will have 2 germinal layers. Based on that we can classify, yes, if it is a coelentrates, or what other example? In coelentrates there will be only 2 layers can be seen, but when we come to the other levels of organization, when other group of organisms they have, this is ectoderm, and here it is termed as mesoderm, not mesoglia. Then this is the endoderm. Okay, this is what the arrangement of cells in the embryonic layers in different organisms. So in the triploblastic animals in which the developing embryo will have the 3rd germinal layer. So developing embryo will have the 3rd germinal layer, that is mesoderm, that is outer ectoderm, internal endoderm, and there is a middle mesoderm. They said that this structure, this 3rd germinal layer can be observed from the group of platyhelminthes to all the chordates. From platyhelminthes to all the chordates will have this 3rd germinal layer. So such groups of animals are called as triploblastic organization. So you must write by yourself what is triploblastic organization and in which animal we can see that. Okay, organism in which the embryonic layer, they will have a 3rd embryonic layer. Otherwise, otherwise you can write like this also. The animals in which the embryo have a 3rd germinal layer, such animals are called as triploblastic animals. Example, from platyhelminthes to chordates. Still from platyhelminthes, what are the phylum is there? Okay, all those have the 3rd germinal layer, that is mesoderm. So that based on that presence of mesoderm, it is known as triploblastic organization. Next is about the coelom, body cavity. Whether the body cavity is present or not. Based on that, the animals are categorized. Nature of coelom is the 3rd criteria for the classification of animals. Nature of coelom. Coelom is a body cavity. Body cavity between the body wall and the gut wall. Okay, so this is found in the germinal during the embryonic development. When any organism, it starts its life with the embryo, right? So that when this embryo develops into an individual, during that time, what changes we can see, that is the based on that diploblastic and triploblastic categorization is made. Now this coelom is a body cavity, okay, which is between the digestive body wall as well as with the other. Yes, between the body wall and the gut wall. For example, if we take the higher animals and all, between the body wall and the gut wall, it is not empty, right? It is not empty. It is filled with some muscles or filled with some of the organs. But in some other organisms, it is not like that. So let us write down now what is the 3 types of nature of coelom. So what is the coelom means? Coelom means body cavity. What is coelom means? It is a body cavity. Then, what are the 3 types of present? We'll write completely. The body cavity present between body wall and a cavity present between body wall and the gut wall. It's called as coelom. It's called as coelom. Now, coelom, it is lined by, the body cavity will be lined by mesoderm. How it is lined by? The body cavity is lined by mesoderm. Which line? They will be filled with the mesoderm. Then let us classify this into 3 types. What are those 3 types? Coelomates. Okay. Second one, acoelomates. And third type of animals are pseudocoelomates. Coelomates means which have the body cavity, it is called as coelomates. Acoelomates means which I told already. In biology, some of the word starts with A, like acoelomates, asymmetrical. Okay, so that means they are devoid of, they are absent in that. Okay, here it is acoelomates means which does not have any cavity. So pseudocoelomates which have this false cavity. Then let us understand now how this categorization is made. So coelomates, first one, animals possessing the cavity. Animals body cavities are called as coelomates. Example for these coelomates are, what are the examples for these? The annelids, then arthropods, then mollusks, echinodermites and hemichordates. Examples are annelids, arthropods, coelentrates. It will stir the echinoderms. Then hemichordates. And chordates. If the cavity is present between if the body cavity is present, the cavity is present between the body wall and the gut wall. Gut wall means which is alimentary canal, all those which consist of alimentary canal regions, all those are the gut regions. So if that body cavity is present between the body wall and the gut wall, then it is called as coelom. And in coelomates, that cavity is present. That animals possessing the body cavity, they are called as coelomates. Example, annelids, arthropods, echinoderms, and then hemichordates, then chordates. Now what about the coelomates then? Animals in which body cavity is absent. Animals in which